Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I am Luke Watson.
I'm Roddy McInnes.
And we are here to talk about Stranger Things.
And we have all of the Eggos we can get our hands on. They're all right. They're neither here nor there. They're like air made solid.
So, in case you're wondering, like you're Ben Ratner, Stranger Things is a phenomenon.
Oh yeah, our tech does not watch television. For a man who works in television, does not watch anything.
He has questionable taste, much like we do, eating room temperature Eggos. So I have just finished binge watching season 2, and I will not spoil anything. And you have not started season 2.
No, I have not.
So you cannot spoil anything.
No, I can. I, however, just got done watching first season again because I was stuck in North Carolina by accident. I was coming back from a Scottish festival. That's why I sound like this and my voice is going. So you might have to do most of the talking in this one. But I rewatched it and I'm really glad that I did because I missed a lot of stuff the first time round and gave me a newer appreciation of the characters and the depth of how it all comes together as a season. It's exactly the right length.
I would just say that if you are a fan of the first season, you will be a fan of the second season, right? I don't have to go into any details. It's just more, you like Stranger Things, well, there's more things to enjoy.
I've heard mixed reviews, however.
I don't believe the mixed reviews. That's
I've heard
fake, that's fake news.
That's fake news.
It's fake news.
The first couple of episodes I hear are quite slow.
You know, I watched it in such an accelerated binge that there was nothing slow about what I watched. I just
Powered
went through it. Yeah.
All right. Well,
All
as long as you
weekend,
can do that
that's
again.
what I did. It was a rainy Sunday. So welcome to the Upside Down.
Yeah, we have this, and this is courtesy of Ben, who's a genius.
He can do anything.
You were about to say, how would you describe
the
phenomenon that is?
How would you describe, if you've been trapped in another dimension for the last several years, how would you describe Stranger Things?
It's a culmination of all the good tropes from 80s nostalgia, music, games, pop culture, tweaked and smashed into each other and blended together to form this excellent sort of shell into which a wonderful story is told.
But that shell, I think the key part is that it is Netflix formatted.
Yeah.
This is such a Netflix show where it's got all those things that the generation Netflix enjoys. It's like 80s nostalgia. It's like, it's got the vibe of a Stephen King, a Steven Spielberg.
I'm going to highlight something. My thighs are killing me. Because of perspective, I have to stand slightly down, and I feel really awkward doing that. I just wanted you guys to know I am much taller than Luke is here.
Hopefully, like the cast of Stranger Things.
I feel really awkward.
Hopefully, like the cast, I get a growth spurt in the midst of this.
Sorry, what were we talking about? Yes, it captures everything like the earlier Spielberg films or John Carpenter's music is reminiscent
the synthy, the theme song.
It looks like the Goonies. It feels like every other good, bad 80s movie.
It feels like every Stephen King story has been thrown in a blender.
Yeah.
And then spit out into a Netflix binge watch series.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful bit of art if you haven't watched it already.
So in addition to the creative inspirations, the movies and the TV shows that have inspired this, there is a
scientific
real
actual
life
basis.
I mean real life, I use that term loosely, inspiration.
If someone is watching who hasn't seen any of the series, there should be one spoiler. One of the children has telekinetic powers. That's just as a result of experimentation by the American government. There were actual experimentations.
Yes.
So I hear.
Yes.
Tell us about those.
So there are two things that are supposedly the inspirations behind the Stranger Things, the powerful character, 11, who, that's no spoiler. There was MK Ultra and the Montauk Project. The Montauk Project,
right?
You know about that.
Yeah, because MK Ultra was real, where they got
MK Ultra is a real
whole bunch
program.
of people, I think 7,000 odd soldiers in total, subjected them to abuse and torture and psychological warfare.
They dosed them with like LSD and things like that.
Without their knowledge or consent.
And the idea was to come up with new types of psychological warfare and interrogation.
To be used on other less fortunate people. The other one, however, the Montauk Project, is based on a book by a guy called Preston Nichols, and it's not true. And
this is like conspiracy theory.
Yeah, you're getting into, there's the book, The Montauk Project, is much about the same sort of thing. It was an offshoot according to a guy called Jacques Vallée, who was himself a UFOologist and a legitimate scientist in his own...
UFOologist
a
or
UFOologist?
ufologist?
A ufologist. He studied unidentified flying objects.
Okay.
How many he actually saw, we're not sure. He was a relatively sane guy, however. He mapped quite a lot of Mars for NASA in his time as an engineer there. He said it was an offshoot of a thing called the Philadelphia experiment, which in itself was widely regarded to be a hoax.
Right.
The Philadelphia experiment was this recorded incident in the 1940s of an entire naval vessel being rendered
It was like
invisible.
an experiment in trying to make a naval vessel disappear, like the ultimate stealth, supposedly through another dimension, which ties into...
Yeah, in that it's all based off books, however, because the guy, the first mention of the Philadelphia experiment is from a guy called Morris Jessup, who, in unknown letters from himself to himself, it seems. Anyway, if the UFO
He's his own pen pal.
If the UFOologist thinks it's fake, I think I'm going to stick with that opinion as well. A
So-
more interesting one, however, that I came across, much like MK Ultra, was the Edgewood Arsenal experiments. Have you heard of the?
I have not heard of that.
No, you know the start of Pineapple Express,
Yes.
where Bill Hader is smoking drugs in a sealed room in the military kind of place. That's what they did. They got thousands of soldiers over a 25-year period and subjected them to everything they get their hands on, 300 or so different chemicals, from alcohol to caffeine all the way through to LSD, PCP, sarin gas, mustard gas, all that horrible stuff. So it does actually exist. These places at one point did.
And so that's kind of the crux of Stranger Things. You've got superpowers, you've got a shady government, and you've got sort of an alternate dimension where monsters live. And that is what goes into this world. But
Oh,
I think that if
my wife's commenting on Facebook, if I don't reply, she'll get very angry. Everyone's saying it's better than the first. Okay, well, we'll see when I get home.
I have heard mixed things, but
Yeah.
I thought it was just more of what we liked about the first one, personally.
Okay, I look forward to it.
So if you have seen Stranger Things and you know the work of Stephen King, you will know that there are a lot of similarities between his stories and this show.
There's also a lot of Easter eggs within the show.
And one of the things that I found out that was very interesting but not surprising is that the Duffer Brothers, who are the creators of Stranger Things, they originally wanted to remake It. Before the new It movie came out, they wanted to make the movie. They could not get the rights.
Okay.
And so they ended up making Stranger Things. Now, have you seen It?
I have, and I was up in Maine recently. I stopped outside Stephen King's house in Portland. He has bat gates.
Did you peer in his windows?
There is a red balloon hanging up in the
that's
front window.
awesome.
Apparently he comes out and talks to people when they're there. I didn't get to see him, unfortunately. But next time, Stephen, if you're watching, next time.
You're invited on the show as well,
Yeah,
Stephen.
come on down.
So it's
there's lots
interesting
of-
because It, the movie, when I was watching that, I was thinking this feels so much like Stranger Things. And a lot of it is the fact that they changed the source material of the book. It's set in like the 50s, and then the 80s is the present day. The kids were in the 50s, and they changed it to make it modern, make it contemporary, so that in the It movie, the kids are in the 80s, which makes it feel very much like Stranger Things. It's got the nostalgia.
Yeah, well, I'm a child of the 90s, unlike you. Look, I look older than you, but you are as old as time. You've been here since God was a boy, isn't it?
You missed
I
good things.
I was my movies were not your movies, but I'm not as obsessed as your generation is with the 80s. I do have an appreciation for it.
Well, you probably have an appreciation through my generation's appreciation creating these things.
The older people, yeah.
So some of the Stephen King works that are really obviously inspiring this. Carrie, Firestarter. By the way, these are all recommendations that you could watch.
I've never seen nor know anything about Firestarter.
Firestarter stars a very, very young Drew Barrymore, and she's a kid that is experimented upon and has superpowers.
Oh, and does she start fires?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, she starts fires. No, just checking. I like things to do what they say on the tin.
And I think I don't know if that was before or after E.T., but she's very young.
All right.
So you've got that. You definitely got some Stand By Me.
There's a guy reading Cujo in the police station.
You got some Cujo.
Yeah.
Another thing that's worth noting is there's a classic Twilight Zone episode called Little Girl Lost, where the girl disappears through her bedroom wall into another dimension. They have to go out and find her in this other dimension. The Simpsons parodied it in one of the Halloween specials, where Homer becomes like claymation, 3D.
Oh, right, yeah.
But also Poltergeist really takes a lot of inspiration from that. And there's definitely a lot of that going on in Stranger Things. And of course, you can't ignore the Goonies. And all the Spielberg E.T. stuff. It's the kids on bike genre. Like the kids on bikes getting into trouble and having adventures.
Taking off and flying past the moon. And
Very
all
much
that.
the first season of Stranger Things, more so, I think, than the current season. But I would say that watching the most recent season, there's definite inspiration from Evil Dead and Tremors, even like Lost Boys, major Gremlins vibes. There's an episode.
Keep talking. There's an episode of...
I did that hands-free.
I know you did. I'm here. I'm doing nothing else.
There's an episode that feels like Jurassic Park, which is not 80s.
Is there? What episode feels like Jurassic Park? That's a really strange thing to say. That's like the sort of person who says it feels like a Tuesday.
You'll know it when you get to it.
Right, okay. But,
and of course, Sean Astin is a new addition to the cast this season.
Oh yeah, him of Goonies fame.
And he was in Goonies.
He was. He was the lead guy.
He was also Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings.
In a little-known production of known as Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he was there. Right. What else would you like to talk about? I would like to talk about the cast. The cast, I feel, is the strongest part of the thing. Everything's beautiful. Everything's well
you've got two things that make this great. You've got the inspiration behind it, and you've got this phenomenal cast.
The cast, it's the first thing I've seen Winona Ryder in for a wee while, and I'm pleased to see her. Has she stopped stealing things, I wonder?
She steals every scene she's in.
She is. Actually, the one I'm most impressed with is the guy who plays Steve. Steve in the awesome. I'm choking on egos here. The guy who plays Steve and his excellent hair. He is my hero.
So I want to surprise you. There's a little game I want to play. You can't look at the notes. Don't look at the notes.
All right.
This is a game called American or Imposter.
All right.
And I'm going to name the characters. We'll talk about the characters and the actors. I'm going to say. I'm going to ask you, are they Americans
or are they
imposters? All right. First one
is everyone who's not an American an imposter? That's a very
that's
a very insular kind of attitude to have in this day and age.
If you were trying to sound like me, that would make you an imposter.
Am I an imposter?
You're not an imposter because you're being who you are.
Am I an imposter now?
No, you're Scottish.
What if I do an American accent? I can't.
Then you're an imposter.
All right, cool. Carry on. Fire away.
Winona Ryder.
American.
She is American through and through, and she is a national treasure.
Where is she from?
She is from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
And yesterday was her birthday.
That was another airport I've been stuck in. I was stuck in Minneapolis St. Paul Airport. Last time I was coming back from a Scottish festival.
Cold place.
Yeah, horrible. Not a good place.
There she is.
Enough airport, but
My Winona. And internet, if you're watching, someone please do a cover of My Sharona, changing it to My Winona. Please.
No. Just for you. I'll do that. That's what I'll do for your birthday.
Interesting Winona Ryder fun fact. When they approached
I'm not looking at the notes. I can't look
when
at the
they
notes.
approached her for this role,
Yeah.
she had no idea what streaming was.
Okay.
This was like not that long ago.
I don't know what streaming is. I still don't. Are we doing this now? Are we streaming?
Are we
streaming? Are we doing it?
All right. You and Winona have a lot in common.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. This is now we're getting into the younger cast. Millie Bobby Brown, the breakout star of this show.
She is. She's not American. I know that.
Makes her.
She's an imposter, but I don't know where
imposter.
she's from. Where is she from?
Millie Bobby Brown was born in Spain, but her parents are British.
Is this from the new?
This is her with hair.
Oh no! Spoilers.
Spoiler
She
alert.
at one point had
Spoiler
hair.
alert, she grows hair.
I didn't know that.
So
That's
Millie
new
Bobby
information to me.
Brown has really become the breakout star of this show. And it's interesting. She was, like I said, she was born in Spain, but her parents moved to Orlando when she was very young. She's still very young. And she was discovered by a talent scout who said, your daughter has skills that cannot be taught. She has to get to Hollywood. And now she's become like the face of this show.
And the face of youth acting.
Yeah.
Well, that and the other, I mean, the other cast members are incredible. The She from the Children is the best part of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who I'm a fan of, however, is apart from Steve the excellent hair, is Jonathan Myers. That guy.
I'll get to him.
Right.
I'll get to him.
I have a lot to say about him.
All right. David Harbour.
David Harbour.
American or imposter?
He's American.
He is totally American. This guy, he's the ultimate that guy, where you know you've seen him in so many TV shows and movies over the years, but now I actually know his name is David Harbour.
Generic good guy whiteface.
Yeah, but he could be tough, or he could be...
No, he has an emotional depth you wouldn't actually think of a man who plays the sort of all-American everyman.
It's a great role for him. And he's actually the star in the reboot of Hellboy. He's taking over for Ron Perlman.
Yeah, who asked for a reboot of Hellboy? Did you ask for a reboot of Hellboy?
The people who own the rights to Hellboy.
Asked for a reboot of Hellboy. It was all right. The Guillermo del Toro one was actually better than the first one. Just because it's going to be a dumb story, it may as well be pretty to look at while it's being told.
All right, I want to get to the next
Let's not talk about Hellboy.
American or Imposter, Finn Wolfhard, who plays Mike.
And winner of best name
There's Mike,
ever.
he's behind you. There he is.
Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard was meant to be in show business.
Just because of his name?
Because of his name, like Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah. Anyone called Wolf.
Exactly.
Or Wolf in the name.
American or Imposter?
I'll go with American.
Yes, technically,
All right.
he's Canadian.
That's what? That's
Canada,
not technically.
Canada is in North America.
Yeah, but he's
which
not
makes
American.
all Canadians American.
But not all Americans are Canadian.
That's true.
Right, okay.
That's true.
No, wrong. Why? You can't be insular and inclusive at the same time.
United Statesians
Have you-
doesn't roll off the tongue.
Have you talked to Canada about this? Canada would not want to be lumped in the same group.
They're North Americans.
Yeah, they're North Americans, but they're not Americans or imposters.
All right. I feel like
I think we're getting the
I feel like we should
semantics of
table
what
this
is an
issue.
American. Anyway,
Canada,
right, whatever.
if you're watching, weigh in, please. All right. So, and as we were talking about the It movie,
Yeah.
the recent It movie, he actually stars in that.
Does he?
He's one of the stars. He's one of the child actors.
I haven't
he plays
seen it.
Richie Tozier.
Do you recommend seeing it?
It?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you saw it. The movie with the clown.
The movie
Stephen
with
King
the
movie.
Yes, indeed, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Not the new one. I've seen the old one.
I thought you saw the new one.
No,
Oh, no,
I
he's
don't
in
have time
it.
to go to the cinema. What do you think I do now?
So anyway,
Right.
I've seen them both myself.
Good.
So
I'll go and see
anyway,
it now.
so Finn Wolfhard actually plays in It, the new version of the movie.
So he's not.
And,
He's Canadian. So
he's
neither of us
Canadian.
are correct. We'll move on.
But
from
what
there.
happened was I was watching this movie again. As I said, it feels very much like Stranger Things to me.
Yeah.
And then you have one of the kids from Stranger Things in it. And I did a little research, and it turns out he was actually cast in It first. And
Oh, yeah, I
it
heard
looked like
about
he
that.
wouldn't be able to do Stranger Things.
But then it got.
But then
pushed back.
it got delayed.
It got delayed.
And then it got delayed. So he did Stranger Things season 1, then It, and then season 2. So he gets to be in both.
These are really bad for you.
Oh, I've only had 3.
They're not actually that bad. They're just
Add some
a
syrup.
lot of calories for what
Add
you would
some syrup.
imagine an Eggo to be. Like, it's
So
made of-
anyway, that's Finn.
Lot of sodium.
Let's go to Dustin.
Dustin.
And I don't know, is it Gatton or Gayton?
It's Gaten Matarazzo,
Yes.
isn't it? With a name like that, you'd expect imposter, but he's not. He's American.
He's from New
He's
Jersey.
New Jersey.
He's New Jersey, or as we say around here, across the pond.
Across the water, as you would say. He
So-
suffers from a disease called.
You can look at that.
Yeah, I can look. No, cleidocranial dysplasia. He's born without collarbones, and that causes problems
Yes,
inherently.
and it's interesting because the actor has this, and they worked it into the storyline. So, like in the first episode of season 1, he explains to some bullies what he has, which has drawn more attention to this
Disease.
disorder than probably anyone ever has. In
He's got a
human
very
history.
mild form of it as well. I saw it here. Like he's one of the lower gradients of it. Next, hit
All
me.
right,
Come on.
next. Okay, this is the guy you want to talk about.
He played. Sorry, I just some Ben put up a bit of a fact. He played Gavroche in the revival of Les Mis.
Did he?
Did he?
Did he?
Yeah, that's something I'd. Oh no, that was my wife who mentioned that.
Oh,
Of course, my
don't give Ben
beautiful
any
lady
credit.
wife who is a Broadway
checking.
theater buff.
All right, so you wanted to talk about
you.
him. We've gotten to him, and his name is Charlie Heaton.
Charlie Heaton.
American or imposter?
He's an imposter. I know that.
And there's a very good reason to know that.
Yeah.
And that's because the recent news that he was barred from entering the U.S.
Yes. He
for
does the drugs.
For a drug charge, which is kind of a spoiler for this game.
Really?
Because he wouldn't be barred from entering the U.S.
If he was a domestic person.
Our drug addicts get to enter the country.
You can come back as long as you're on the list.
So this guy.
Stop eating these.
Yeah, they're tempting.
They're just there. They're so nourish.
Charlie Heaton has just been cast in New Mutants, which is a
As
spin-off
who?
of the X-Men movies.
I know.
He
What
plays
New Mutants is.
Cannonball,
Oh.
which is a major comic book fan favorite character that
Yeah.
we've been waiting to appear in the
That'd be
live
interesting
action.
because that guy, he, for all of his faults and all of his indulgences and things that get him barred from the country, he is a phenomenal actor. He is.
He's very good, but he's super creepy.
Yeah, but
He's like,
he's been in like the Jonathan Byers character is that outsider. As you said before,
he plays it very well.
The entirety of this is a lot of 80s movies tropes that are sent up or exemplified or amplified or brought to light in one place, and he plays this weird outlying person.
Kind of like artsy, but kind
Yeah,
of like mysterious.
Like, only photographer to be creepier than that dude from American Beauty. by
Right.
a country mile, because he's taking photos in places he shouldn't be taking photos in the first place.
Absolutely.
Anyway, he completely acts that girl off the screen. The girl who...
Oh, yeah.
What, I can't remember her name.
Plays Nancy.
Yeah, she has this one thing that she does, and it drives me insane when she has a pause. She does this.
It's funny, I do that too.
Yeah, it's just like someone has taught her what a looking, thinking face is meant to look like. It's she just gets blown off the stage by this guy.
Last point on our friend Charlie Heaton, the New Mutants movie, which a lot of you are watching are thinking, oh, it's going to be another X-Men movie. It's actually kind of a horror movie.
Oh.
If you watch the trailer for New Mutants, which also has Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, Arya Stark, it is a horror movie featuring mutants, so it is not that far removed from what we're seeing in Stranger Things.
That would be interesting. Is it going to be R-rated? It would have to be.
I don't know. It could be after Deadpool and Logan.
I would imagine it's going to be.
It looks really good. I would recommend everyone look at the New Mutants trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to move fast.
Right.
My favorite.
Yes.
Joe Keery. Steve. Look at that hair.
God,
magnificent head of hair.
Man that he is. That's the guy who's casting the Domino's commercials to be sort of revamped Ferris Bueller.
Quasi Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, and that made me hate him a little bit.
Is he American or an imposter?
He's an American.
He is totally American.
Yeah.
We will claim him. We will proudly claim Steve and that hair. Okay. Originally, Steve's character was scripted as the biggest douchebag on the planet.
The sort of good-looking, I drive a fancy car, I always get the girl.
They cast this actor, and he was so incredibly likable that they changed the character.
Just to suit him?
They changed the character because he's so good.
Yeah.
There was originally a scene scripted where Steve was supposed to rape Nancy.
Oh. That would have changed the vibe
Would have
somewhat.
made him less likable.
Yeah, by a lot.
Two left. Dockery?
I can't get over that. They wanted him to rape Nancy.
Yeah, they
my
cut it out.
God.
This is the new bully. You don't know him. You don't know him.
Talk about Steve.
But look at the we'll get to Steve.
I'm heartbroken.
Free for all. Mullet. Another mullet. You can never have too many.
No, that's the
Dockery
new
Montgomery,
guy.
Billy the Bully. Does he look to you like he's American or an imposter?
I think he looks American.
He is Australian.
Oh!
They too rock the mullet.
I had to get one wrong eventually.
If you've got a mullet, you are either American or Australian.
And nothing in between.
Nothing else.
There's no people hanging about Russia with a mullet.
And he played Jason the Red Ranger in the new Power Rangers movie. And that's the only thing I watched this whole season. I'm like, I know this guy from something. Okay, last one. We're over time. Saving the best geek cred for last. Sean Astin.
There he is.
Is he American or is he an imposter?
I've forgotten. I don't know which is. I think he's American because he was in Rudy in that. Wasn't
He was born in Santa Monica. He is such a Hollywood kid. His mother is Patty Duke.
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
Patty Duke was America's sweetheart back in the 60s, the Patty Duke Show. And so he actually thought that Desi Arnaz Jr. was his father until he was 18 years old.
Okay.
Which means little Ricky's got some splaining to do.
Who's his actual father?
Well, his actual father was someone who's not a well-known actor or anything like that, so I don't know his name. But he is actually the stepson of John Astin, better known as the original Gomez Addams in the 1960s TV series.
All the trivia all the time. Raul Julia is my Gomez Addams.
The original, the series. All right,
now.
And so last sort of semi-fun fact, there is a Walking Dead actor in Stranger Things that is often overlooked.
I saw this because I was also doing research in trivia.
Who is it?
The little girl.
One of the Judiths in The Walking Dead. There have been 18 Judiths, I believe, because they cast twins and triplets.
Yeah, and children tend to grow quite quickly.
And Holly Wheeler, who's the little sister of Nancy. And she
did quite a lot of ad-libbing, I hear. Like, there's a lot of things of her, like, flumping down on
most
something.
importantly, she is the Judith from the best episode featuring Judith of The Walking Dead.
Is that the one where
it's The Grove?
The Grove.
Lizzie and Micah look at the flowers.
Yeah.
She is the Judith.
That's that Judith.
That is the Judith.
Okay. The one where Judith got eaten and we thought she was dead for a bit is the best episode with Judith in it. Because as we know, Judith is a burden upon everyone and must go.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, anyway.
All right, so real quick, recommendations for when the binge ends. First of all, Stranger Things has been renewed for season 3. It is coming back.
Yeah.
And the Duffer Brothers have said they've planned for this to be 4 seasons. So we have at least 2 more seasons.
That's an excellent way to do it because you might, like, not just because I'm from the UK, but British TV shows tend to have 3 seasons, maybe 4. They're a short amount of episodes, so they are kind of forced to do more with less time. That is the perfect way to do it. It forces you to create an excellent narrative.
Don't beat a dead horse.
No, and excel at cramming as much in the short amount of time. That's a really good way to do it. I'm thankful for that.
But while we wait, probably for a year,
Or
I don't know, or longer, for the next season of Stranger Things, hopefully it becomes an annual Halloween treat.
Yeah.
What would we recommend?
What would I recommend? Go outside, take up an hobby. Don't spend all your time watching Netflix. There's a big bright world out there. Stop and smell the flowers. Go horseback riding.
No, but in all seriousness.
Oh, but in all seriousness,
seriousness.
no. Turn on the television. Play scary video
First
game.
of all, The Mist. I talk about The Mist a lot. That's a Stephen King story as well that deals with alternate dimension creatures.
I have not read it.
I would recommend it.
I've seen it. Which iteration is the best for you?
I like the movie. The movie's divisive.
Hasn't there been 2 movies thus far though?
Not yet. They did a TV series.
Oh,
I didn't even watch a TV series.
You're also not impressed with The Dark Tower, I hear.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. We'll do an entire Stephen King episode.
But I'm going to have to read more Stephen King then.
J.J.
Anyway.
Abrams, his movie Super 8 is an
Right.
homage to the Steven Spielberg kids on bike genre. I personally did not like it.
I haven't seen it.
I've heard people seem to like it. Super 8, so if you're looking for another kids on bike, 80s inspired movie that is not an actual 80s movie, JJ's got your back with Super 8. Also, there's been a lot of comparisons between Stranger Things and the Silent Hill video game series.
See, that I can understand because I played the Silent Hill video games when I was a teenager, and yeah, the sort of atmospheric creation, this sort of stuff that's going on around us right now, is the sort of thing that Silent Hill games excel at.
Tom suggests Mindhunter.
Mindhunter, that's another one because I
haven't watched
other
it.
things. I don't have enough time to watch.
It just came out. You need to get delayed on more flights where you can just binge
watch television. That's what it's there for. Mindhunter, what's it about? Why should I invest my time?
Mindhunter is that the new David Fincher?
I have no idea. I've seen it on Netflix. It's in a queue somewhere.
Yeah, Tom's our guy. He knows.
Someone knows these things.
I'm going to get around to that next. So, also, if we were talking about Silent Hill, there is an actual Stranger Things app game. It's like a 16-bit.
Oh, I've seen that. It's a side scroller and you jump across things.
No, this one looks like a Super Nintendo RPG.
All right.
But it does have some jumping over things.
A Super Nintendo RPG in the oak of what?
Like Earthbound or even like a Zelda, where a Link to the Past.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, sort of. Oh, right. Up and down, sort of screen rolling kind of thing.
So I've heard really good things about this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that, I think.
And of course, Netflix introduced an official after show beyond Stranger Things.
Right, after Stranger Things.
Yeah, which is weird because you binge watch
Beyond Stranger Things, it's called. Yeah, you don't binge watch
Strangest Things?
Strangest Things. The penultimate, the ultimate of strange things. The strangest thing. I'm not a big fan of after TV shows. Really, despite the fact that we tend to do one.
I can't stand people talking about TV
No, God,
shows.
no, it's obnoxious, isn't it? Would you rather just watch the TV show? It seems to become a thing that every TV show now, every executive everywhere says, you know what we need after this? We need a show to discuss a show that's just happened. And sometimes that's awesome. Sometimes
we have some comments here.
It's not so great. We have some comments.
John C. Danzo, sorry, I just refreshed and I saw a bunch of comments. And Tom, he did confirm that Mindhunter is the David Fincher series.
Will there ever be a Stranger Things game for PS4 or Xbox? That is a good question.
I would not be surprised.
The problem is, how are you going to dress that up, though? Because it can't be a straight shooting...
But Netflix is getting into licensing now. They're starting to do merchandising. There's actually Stranger Things lunchbox and ugly Christmas sweaters. So video games are a natural extension. I haven't seen anything announced.
Because it's... The whole thing about the story is that it's like a quest that unto itself in the Dungeons and Dragons vein that is a theme behind everything that runs through the child's understanding of how the events are coming forward. Things like the Demogorgon, things like going on a quest, your mission, packing the right supplies. It would have to be a sort of greater RPG in 3 or 4 different parts.
Or it could be like a Silent Hill.
Or it could
except
be
more fun.
Yeah, or like one of the newer Resident Evil games, incidentally, is very much like that, and I enjoy that. That's a new one where it's based in the Bayou. We'll talk about that at a later date. Anyway,
some other comments.
Don't make it like LA Noire. Don't make it like the first Blade Runner game. Don't make it like you have like Carmen Sandiego looking about going like, oh, that's fine and interesting. No.
I was really hoping it would be like Carmen Sandiego.
No, the sort of point and click. No, none of that.
All right, we only have a few more seconds, a few more comments. Phoenix Gonzalez, the acting was truly spectacular. They are all super talented. I've said it before and I've said it again that they really struck gold with the child actors. It's hit or miss with these things.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter series did very well with child actors. When
I'm
you
looking
cast
forward-
that young, you don't know what's going to develop.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of the guy who plays Will Byers. Mainly because he's in it and then he's not there and then you don't see him enough.
He's kind of like the guy in The Hangover whose bachelor party they all go to.
Oh, the guy they leave on the roof.
He's a crucial part of the plot, but you don't really spend any time getting to know him and you're not invested in him.
Right, okay. All the other kids are phenomenal. That one, Will Byers, I need to have a look and see if he's good or not. But you think...
They can just cast him away to the Upside Down if he doesn't work.
Yeah, is Barb coming back?
I can't tell you.
Is Barb coming back?
Hashtag justice for Barb.
Dead.
I see Michelle
she's
said that.
She's dead in the first series. She's lying there. And I really wanted to talk about...
I can't talk about Barb.
No, I really wanted to talk about all the design of the... like the Upside Down. It's all very... It has its own ecosystem.
Now's our free-for-all.
All right.
We're going to do a free-for-all for a little while. You can talk about whatever you want.
I would.
Please comment.
It's a huge amount of thought that's gone into that. The Demogorgon has this sort of floral type face that opens up.
Yes.
And the slugs and everything that invade Will's body.
Which, by the way, is very Resident Evil.
It is. There's a great fear, a Jungian fear of things that don't have eyes. There is. If you can't see where something sees out of, it's
creepy. It's like an alien.
It's a disconcert. Yeah, exactly. That's H.R. Geiger designing a lot of those. It looks like someone's put a lot of thought into the biology and ecosystem of it.
Yeah.
Like the slugs
There's
at the end.
There's a lot of thought that went into this show. But a lot of it as well, they get so much credit for this show, but it really feels like a greatest hits of so many other movies that it's like, do they really have to do a lot of research? They just kind of pick and choose the best parts of what they love, of the Goonies and Alien and...
The Thing.
And The Thing.
Oh, yeah, I actually saw a t-shirt, I'm going to have to show you after this, of someone with a Thing-style poster t-shirt of the Demogorgon at this Scottish festival that I got waylaid at.
He's Scottish, in case you didn't notice.
I am. By way of New York for the past 7 years, that's why I sound like I'm confused.
Here's a question, or this prompts a question. Onale says, I'm rationing the episodes to make it last longer.
That's not the way to do it.
No, hold on. Do you prefer to pace your binge, or do you binge all at once?
I'm a binger all at once. Much like I'm a very consumptive person. Large quantities of all the good things that I like at the time. I'm the same way with chocolates. The only way to eat a box of chocolates is all at once and with much guilt and great veracity unto yourself.
So that you vomit it up and you can eat another.
No, yes, cool, fine. No,
do as the Romans.
I don't vomit it up. Why are you doing that? Just more chocolate on top of it.
You know what?
You and I have just found a polarizing difference in our personalities.
It's funny because
I was in the market for a new best friend. I think
you're the guy that's advocating eating a whole box of chocolates, and you're the one that's slimming down.
Yeah,
what's up with that?
That's because I gave up drinking. That's another story for another time.
See, I personally, when it comes to binge watching a Netflix show, I like to pace myself. I'll do it fast, but I'll do like 2 episodes on a Saturday, and then I might not watch another one until Wednesday, and then
I'll go for like 3 episodes at a time, maybe 4. And then I'll take a break and then watch the rest of the morning.
I watch to be prepared because I'm dedicated to you. I binge watched this whole series. Like I started Friday.
Right.
And I only took a break to watch The Walking Dead last night.
Which I haven't seen.
So
was it good?
No spoilers. It was very good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
if you want to come and see us talk about The Walking Dead, incidentally, we do that on Essential TV every so often.
Follow, like, and share.
Yeah, and you'll come and see us waffle about...
Yes, and Onlay says about the binges, then I'm sad when it's over.
Yeah, you have the guilt and the remorse.
There's so many other shows to watch. And it's kind of a bummer with something like Stranger Things that is such a treat that you do have to wait so long. It's not like... We talked about some things that are like Stranger Things and certainly the inspiration behind it, but there's really no replacement for it.
Now, Ben Ratner suggests Fuller House.
Of course he does.
Which I'm a big fan of John Stamos. I'm...
of course.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be? And the rest of it, I have no interest in.
Tom has a very, very strange habit. Binge all at once except the finale. Save that for a later date.
That's
Like a rainy day?
That's weird. That's a
weird.
masochistic.
That's not how you do it, Tom.
That's a self-punishing, self-flagellating attitude towards
wouldn't
television,
recommend that
Tom.
to
And I think
anyone.
you think you should talk to someone about that. There's something wrong with you.
All right. Have you watched American Vandal?
I have not.
John Burke, our friend John Burke from the Best Coast, is asking what's our take on it. I haven't watched it yet.
Come on back.
Because I've been watching Stranger Things, but they did just renew it for season 2, and everyone that has talked to me about American Vandal says it is fantastic. It's like a parody of like a Making a Murderer.
Yeah. Oh, right. I see with it. I watched it. Sorry, a guy from Periscope is on here. John C. Danzo says Fuller House show doing this. Still waiting for that from us because we did at one point promise you a Fuller House show, and I apologize for that.
Not at one point. Literally every stream, I promise a Fuller House show. And it's not a broken promise if I live forever.
It's like as yet unfulfilled, isn't it?
We'll get around to it. I'm waiting till the time's right.
What will you talk about?
We have to wait until Fuller House is nostalgic.
It was, and then it came back.
No,
and it's not
Full House is nostalgic.
Fuller
we have to
House
wait
is
for
nostalgic.
Fuller House
Right,
to be
okay.
nostalgic when they have Fullest House.
Fullest. What if they come back for a 4th season?
The
Extra
grandchildren.
most fullest house.
The grandchildren take over.
No,
Have
wrong.
mercy. Have
You'll get one
mercy.
eventually. It will. I don't know. It'll be a parody of a TV.
All right, I think that pretty much does it for
Yeah,
us.
I've got nothing else to talk about.
So we're gonna go spend some time in the Upside Down eating some waffles. I wouldn't recommend them.
No,
they're
they're all right. This is the thing.
How many calories are in one of these?
$1.90, 190 calories.
That serving size is 2,
All right.
and that's before you put
This is
syrup.
how many waffles you get for 200
That is
calories.
before the syrup. Stick with the chocolate. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We will see you soon.
Just
Be
to
sure
reiterate that I am taller than you.
to like, follow, share Celebrity Page TV and Essential TV in no particular order.
You can find me on Instagram at RoddyFunny or on Twitter at Roddy McInnes or on my website, RoddyMcInnesComedy.com.
Or Scottish Festival.
Or any Scottish festival anywhere in the country at any given point.
He's the only guy we have.
I'm the only Scottish person here.
All right.
Only living
Thanks,
Scot in New
everyone.
York.
We'll see you soon.